check, check. All right. There we go. Now I got to start all over. Thank you. All right. So let me start all over because I've been having this issue with this program for a while now, and this thing has been getting on my nerves. All right. So welcome to the show. This is Julien, Stoutt, licensed personal trainer, licensed PE teacher, world record powerlifter, here to take the fear out of fitness. We are about to take off, and class is in session. So, this week has been like I was saying before that you couldn't hear me when I was saying it. This week has been a little bit. It is shaking me as a man and as a teacher, as a professional, everything. This week has shaken me. So the week that, between last week and this week, I have found out things about myself as a professional that you have to take inventory. And as a man, you have to take inventory to and be honest about who you are, right? And I advise every man to do this. Every young man, every older man, it doesn't matter where you are. You need to look inward and take inventory. And it doesn't matter what the situation is, whether you had beef with somebody, whether you got cut off in the fast lane, or whether somebody was out of pocket and talked to you crazy. Whatever the reactions were, as long as it didn't harm people, physically at least, be sure to take inventory in retrospect and be in retrospect. I'm always in retrospect. I'm always looking inward, but the thing that you also have to be careful is not to do is look so far inward that you always find fault in yourself. Sometimes it's not going to be you. Sometimes it's going to be that idiot, whoever they are, right? But when you are being honest with yourself, when you look at yourself, really truly look at yourself, and you hear uncomfortable things about who you are, the only thing that's left for you to do is, in fact, be honest, take inventory, and find a way to do something about it. It's going to hurt. I'm telling you, this weekend, I went through it. It hurt me to find this out. And nothing vile, nothing crazy, nothing, disgusting. Just legitimately, I found out that people look to me in such a way that my presence doesn't want them to be disappointed, or doesn't want them to disappoint me. They're concerned about my disappointment in them. And my thing is, and like I said, this goes across the board, in my life in general. And when you hear that, yeah, you might be disappointed, but it's nothing where it's life ending, or it's career ending, or it's, the way I look at you changes. It's more along the lines of, oh man, come on. It's not like I can never speak to you again. You're dead to me. It's nothing. I'm never that person. You gotta be out of pocket for me to get to that point with you. For me to get to the point with you where you're dead to me, you have to violate. You understand? You have to violate in the worst ways for me to be like, nah, I don't even associate myself with you. And that has happened. I've cut people off a lot. Well, they did a lot. Let me put it that way. I've cut them off. And it's just that simple. But I think I've talked y'all down enough. Turn down this volume a little bit. I think I've talked y'all down enough. Today's show, as you've seen in the thumbnail, Monique warns about the price of convenience. You know what I'm saying? Hold on 1 second. All right, so Jesus. All right. So in reality, Monique warns us about the dangers of convenience. Now, a lot of times things, don't get me wrong, the human condition is to always make things easier for you to do. We will turn around and take the most complex situation, the complex thing that one can do, and literally make it as simple as boo, right? Think about it. We simplify washing our clothes. We have simplified even mopping. We don't even mop anymore. We still mop, don't get me wrong, but a lot of us Swiffer now. A lot of us don't dust, we Swiffer. We don't use Pledge on a lot of our stuff. Some of us don't, right? And, you know, it's just like that, right? So, you know, for all the people that are watching right now, I appreciate you watching, by the way. Just do me a favor, give me a like, and also click the subscribe button. And also don't be afraid to chat with me while I'm on, because I'm on. You know what I mean? So chat with me here on YouTube. Go into your comment section, and you'll see that it'll click up as a live chat, and you should be able to have communication with me. Shout out to Dwayne Donovan, and I said Dwayne for a reason. I know your name is Dwayne, but you know, I'm just being I'm emphasizing just to be cool. But seriously, cool stuff. Because when it comes to the old school stuff, you not doing it the right way is going to actually cost you in the long run. For those of you that try to cut corners, and I'm not talking about finding hacks. I'm not talking about hacks, but I'm talking about more like, all right, I'm doing a little bit of a sound check. How many of y'all can hear me in a like a patchy way, or do you hear me clearly? Because I might have to make some adjustments here. Might be me. All right. But for the time being, what I'm going to say is that we're not talking about hacks like, you know, prepping your meals, you know, ahead of time. We're not talking about things like, we're not talking about things like training in the most efficient way possible, spend less time in the gym but get the most results out of it. We're not talking about things like that. We are talking about literally cutting corners. For those of y'all who watch the Grammys and stuff, how many of y'all saw Kelly Osbourne at the Grammys? I mean, in all seriousness, Kelly Osbourne, Meghan Trainor, Dwayne, can you hear me? Am I gone? Are we good? Can you hear me? Are we good? Should be. I should be good. Chop, chop. What about now? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this thing. It's getting on my nerves. This whole program is getting on my nerves. I might have to find out what's going on with it. Let's see some. Hold on 1 second. I might have too many things open. Give me 1 second. Binders on. I might have too many programs on. That might be what the problem is. What about now? Are we good? Can you hear me now? I, I have sound. I don't know what's going on your end. Did you mute me? Can you hear me? Are we on right now? Are we good? Because I'm literally seeing all. Check 3. Are we good over here? Check 1, check 2. Can you hear me? I already did that twice. Oh man. What about now? Okay, I'm confused because right now I'm live. I know I can hear me. See some check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. Yeah, I can hear me. I can hear me just fine. What? Why? Hello? Yeah, I'm here. I can hear me. How am I going to reset this? You can hear me now? Oh man. I don't know what's going on with this program. I might have to find a better program to do this on because this ain't it. All of a sudden it's been getting progressively worse. Can you hear me now? Seriously, can you hear me? Because I wanna move on with the show real quick. Somebody respond. Can you hear me? What about now? Okay, this is not good. I'll be right back. Check. What about now? I saw something. What do we have? Let's hope we're on right now. I'm going to try to assume we're on right now. And this is why we're live, folks. Yeah. So Monique has been warning us about convenience. We are being a little bit too convenient with things. And I'm gonna you guys saw Meghan Trainor at the Grammys, right? You guys saw Kelly Osbourne at the Grammys. They look like stick figures, right? They don't even look healthy. You know, there was a period of time where Meghan Trainor, even when she lost some weight, still looked very healthy, very recognizable. And everybody, especially in Hollywood, is literally trying to reach this status, this physical status where it's not cute. It's not. You know, forgive me, I don't remember her name, but comedian in Pitch Perfect, larger lady, Australian, usually was larger, but now she lost some weight. Oh my God, I can't remember her name. Let me Google her real quick. Rebel Wilson, right? So with Rebel Wilson was very large at one point, right? And then she eventually lost some weight. And the weight that she lost a significant amount of weight in comparison to where she was originally. But the cool part was that she still looked like her. She was very recognizable. She was very well in shape. She still is very well in shape. But I can still see her face. I still recognize her. She still has her features. As a matter of fact, you know, I've warned people about her being a lot more apparently attractive because of it, right? But the deal is that I'm gonna let Monique talk to you guys. All right?
They are pushing so much to us in reference to, if you take this shot, you could lose 30 pounds. If you take this pill, you could lose this. But what is the long-term effects? What will it do to your body, your mind? What will it do to us 5 years from now, 10 years from now? And yes, you may look like $1 million on the outside, and you may get down to that size 2 or that size 4 or that size 8 or whatever that thing is. But I would ask you to research what you're putting in your body. Research what you're putting in your body. They got us caught up in trends. And well, if this big star did it and this big celebrity did it, well, I'm definitely going to do it. This is what I will say, and this is just my humble opinion. They're taking away our willpower. They're taking away our fight. They're taking away our ability to say, I believe in myself. I'm going to trust the process. Because if you can just put the shit in a microwave, if you can put it in a microwave, and what happens when you put it in a microwave? It loses all nutritional value. So, I love us for real, y'all. I love my people for real. I don't love y'all just because the words sound good. And I know some of y'all have not always agreed with me. And even the ones that don't agree with me, I love us. And I'm asking y'all to love yourself enough not to be tricked. Not to be tricked. Ooh, that thing had me today. Ooh, because we're so easily tricked, especially us. They could sell us shit on toilet paper, and if the right person's selling it, we'll say that's some good shit on that toilet paper. So please don't get caught up in the names, the fame, the money, the quote unquote power, and I'm not judging nobody's decision because it is yours. However, I'm talking to the babies out there that is questioning things. Love you enough to trust your process. They are pushing so much to us.
Something is happening to this computer. Says, I'm gonna read some of these comments so that way you guys can see. I have a question to everyone who's taking or was taking it. Has anyone gained the weight back now that they're not on it? And now there's a bunch of answers on the back. So I'm gonna see. I stopped cold turkey about 10 months and gained the weight back because all the food aversions I had on it went away. Like on them, I don't eat sugar at all. No sodas, no lemonades. I don't drink alcohol, etc. It made it where I hate the taste of it. I didn't want it. I hated fries and chips and stuff too. Tastes really nasty in my mouth. But once the shots were completely out of my system, I started being able to have those things again. Started back slowly doing old habits. The inflammation came back. My psoriasis started flaring up. Just all types of stuff started happening again. Water retention and everything. So I got back on them, and this time I learned that you don't have to stay on the higher doses, that you need to lose weight. You can microdose, not take it as often, takes very small doses just to keep it to where you won't gain the weight back, and I'm fine with that, especially since I learned how to order it overseas where it is way cheaper. Give me 1 second. So with that being said, that leads me into my next thing. Let's see. So I'm going to show you the AI overview. Actually, it's going to be a little bit difficult for me to do this. I'm going to still do it anyway. Actually, I'm just going to read it. Just Google GLP-1 weight gain after stopping, because I don't want to stop this train right now. I've made it too far to stop this train now, because Lord knows I've been in and out of the realm right now, right? Stopping GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro often leads to significant weight regain, with studies showing patients may regain 50 to 80% of lost weight as appetite-suppressing effects wear off. Weight return is often rapid, averaging just under 1 pound a month. Ongoing lifestyle interventions and tapering doses are critical for long-term management. So, it seems to be apparent that Monique was right. That once you are on this stuff, you can't get off of it unless you find a way to make those changes in your lifestyle overall. I think lifestyle change means way more than if you were to just simply get on this medication. Because number two, the other thing that most people don't realize is that when you suppress your appetite, you're also suppressing how many calories you put in your body, to a point where you might just lose more calories than you needed to lose, right? So let's say, for instance, again, so as you guys know, or for those of you who've been watching my show often enough, you know that I have the variables of Cain, which is consumption, appetite, nutrition and activity, right? Expenditure or exercise, right? So if I affect your appetite, I'm also affecting your ability to consume, right? They're almost symbiotic. If I'm affecting your ability to consume, that means also I'm affecting your ability to maintain certain aspects that are in fact healthy, like your amino acid pool. If you are just a carb freak, like everything you just put in your body is a carb, then yeah, you might have to, fall back. But if you really go back and look and pay attention to how much protein you eat, some people are just naturally larger than others. It's okay to be larger. I'm just not okay with being obese. And I'm not talking about obesity I'm talking about obesity in the sense that you have no type of management of your lifestyle. You are over fat for no reason. If medication is causing your weight gain, if some sort of autoimmune disease is causing your weight gain, we're not talking about you. If some genetic situation is going on where you have hyperlipidemia, right? That's not you. It doesn't matter what you do, you're going to develop fat around areas where you have no control over where it lands. Hyperlipidemia is an actual condition, right? No matter what you do, you're going to get fatter. But you're not, it doesn't matter if you're eating clean. It doesn't matter if you're eating dirty. You're just going to gain body fat. And that's a condition. I don't know if they're fixing it, or I don't know if they're finding ways to deal with it. But at the end of the day, that's not your fault. That is not something within the levels of control that you have. I'm talking about those of us who overconsume calories, not even to a ridiculous, my 600-pound life type situation. I'm talking about people who knowingly, willingly, and consciously eat 3,000-4,000 calories a day, knowing full well that they're not putting out 3,000 calories, 4,000 calories of energy output a day. That matters too. If you want to have the joys of eating, you have to put in the work that goes along with it. That it's an equation that can never be undone. Math works, math will always work. All right. So I want you guys to understand that the dangers of convenience is that you're now hooked. They now got you by the wallet. And not in a way where, I'm a personal trainer, you go about your business, you go do your thing, and then you realize that your thing ain't working, so you find another trainer, or you find your way back to me. That's different. Because I'm giving you something and you are gaining as a result of it. But when you're on this drug, you could stop training with me eventually. At some point, you will always be able to stop training with me, especially once you know all there is to know about what I do. You could stop training with me. However, you can't stop that medication. You might want to train with me. And for those of you who are on the medication, you might want to be on the medication. And that's fine if that's what you want to do. But the minute you stop, all of a sudden, it's like you're Cinderella. You had a pumpkin, it turned into a carriage. You had on this really beautiful dress. And then all of a sudden, midnight struck. And there's no glass slipper. Because you're stuck. Because every month you're going to gain about a pound until you get back on it. And if you are afraid, or if you're conscious about the way you look, all of a sudden you're going to be quite concerned about what other people are thinking. Oh, man, I'm gaining this weight. Oh my God, I need to do something. And then you become neurotic about it. And then on top of your neuroticism about the weight, you're also finding you might find yourself on the wrong end of an eating disorder. And I don't want that for you. I don't want that for anybody. So let me continue reading some of these comments. Nope, I took Zepbound for 4 months and lost 60 pounds. I haven't gained any back. No side effects, and that was almost 2 years ago. That's nice. That's great. And that's Zepbound, but that's a different one. I gained about 10 pounds back over 1 or 2 years. Follows the same trend of a pound a month. And went on maintenance doses because it truly helped each and every PCOS symptom I had. Now, again, we're not advising you, especially if you're having other medical issues. I'm not telling you not to take these medications. I'm telling you to be careful. You don't know what the side effects are yet. You might know some of the side effects, but you don't know the long-term side effects. You know, like for instance, we didn't know talcum powder was killing us. Remember that? Johnson & Johnson got sued because talcum powder was causing cancer. Baby powder causes cancer. Found that out. Crazy, right? Now, the thing is, another one says, that's why I gained 6 pounds back and it's been a year, but I will never do it again. I felt like I was dying. Pain was excruciating and I could not walk. Vomiting everywhere. I gained a little weight back, but I'm managing it because I watch how much I eat. It made me eat so little I had almost no energy to do anything. I actually like being curvy. I just wanted to drop a quick 20 pounds. I started to get thin. Kelly Osbourne started to get thin, and she has it in big bold letters. I was starting to get thin. It disturbed me, and it was thin but not strong because I didn't even have the strength to work out. I was on the lowest dose too. The good thing about semaglutide is that it helped my body pain. I have AS. I lost about 30 pounds on it, gained back about 20. But I actually work out now. I strength train with my elliptical at least 3 times a week. You need to go lift weights, mama. The weight loss is more slow this time, but I'm building definition. Weight loss isn't slow, you're gaining muscle. So for those of y'all who don't know, sometimes it's not that weight loss is slow. Weight loss might be slow, but fat loss may not be. You might be building muscle all the while losing fat. So like you said, you're building definition. This woman that I'm reading off of right now, she says that she's gaining definition, which means she's gaining muscle, and it's either pushing through the fat or as she's building the muscle, she's burning some fat, right? As well as you're building muscle, you're losing fat. So therefore, the weight distribution levels off sometimes until the muscle mass increase tapers off and then the fat loss continues, right? So in certain instances, you might step on the scale for a whole entire month and it looks like you didn't lose a pound because you didn't lose a pound. That's okay. What I'm concerned about is whether or not, or have you lost any significant body fat? If you lost body fat, then we've won. That's what I'm concerned about. I'm not concerned about did you lose weight. If you are, I don't care whether you're 260, whether you're 160, whether you're 360. If you are losing body fat and building muscle, you're winning. You're winning. And I will always tell all of my clients, you're winning if you're losing body fat and not losing weight. As long as you're losing body fat, you're winning the game. But yes, you need to lift weights. Because an elliptical does not necessarily strength train. It does, but there's ways that it strength trains if you use it right. But no, lift some weights. And I actually have strength to do what I need to do. I knew I needed to get off the shot when my husband had to hand feed me on our bedroom floor one day because my legs were too weak to carry me downstairs to the kitchen. This question is always interesting to me because if you lose weight, lose with 2 O's, mind you, lose weight naturally and go back to your old habits of bad eating and little to no exercise, you're going to gain weight back that way as well. So every source of weight loss needs to be maintained, and it's up to the individual to figure out what that looks like for them. I'm saying this as someone who has struggled with weight my entire life and has tried everything with success with some long term and some not and failed as well. So she has a point. She has a point, but her point isn't valid because she has a point, but her point isn't valid for the simple fact that making the changes yourself, being more active and eating better is going to make the change. You're going to change. Now, if you could be intelligent enough to make the adjustments with when you modify your activity levels, because I've modified my activity levels significantly over the last 3 months, and I haven't eaten as much as I normally eat. Because teaching is hard, but also I just haven't had, I wanted to manage how much, I didn't want to gain a bunch of weight in the process of me trying to heal with these injuries that I have. So if you know how to manipulate those equations, then you're fine. However, what you don't want to do is exercise is free if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, or if you need a little bit of a push, it costs you a little bit of money, right? However, on the other end of the equation, food costs what food costs. So whether you were active or inactive, food is going to cost you. Whereas a drug that you're taking is going to cost you, and is going to cost you in food and exercise and all that good stuff too, because you no longer are in control of you. And this is where I'm going to land this plane. I know technically I've probably been on for about roughly 30, 40 minutes, but I'm touching on an hour, and I have a few things that I need to do post live stream that I need to get started and make happen. So I'm gonna land this plane. Is GLP-1 medication good for you? In some people's cases, yes. But what we don't want to do is find ourselves in a position where we become dependent on it as though it is DoorDash. We don't want this to be as convenient as DoorDash. Even though with GLP-1, you're not going to be using DoorDash much. The point I'm making is I don't want it so convenient that it's just a click of a button. That your health is a click of a button away. Your health is whatever. I stepped into this room and like the Jetsons, you go in, you're on a conveyor belt, you go in and you come out the other side and you're beautified. That's not the way it works. There has to be a level of struggle. And the reason why the struggle is so important is because when you have earned what you have earned through your struggles, can't nobody tell you nothing. This is part of the reason why players like Michael Jordan, Steph Curry, Kobe Bryant really didn't take too kindly to people talking trash to him. Because in their minds, I worked way too hard for you to be talking crazy to me. You are not on my level. How dare you even speak to me the way you're speaking to me right now? I know you don't work as hard as I do. I know you don't put in the time that I do. How dare you talk crazy to me like as if I'm a scrub? I'm about to show you what a scrub looks like. You get what I'm saying? So you have to, at some point, you have to take inventory. Like I said earlier in the show, that I had to look at myself as a man, as a teacher. I had to take inventory, because if I do not take inventory and look inwards and see what it is that I'm not doing, then ultimately at the end of the day, guess what? What am I? The same. And nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to be the same. Guys, that's my time. I appreciate you all. Thank you for watching. Go ahead and click the subscribe button if you haven't already, so that way everybody in the YouTube verse can get the information that I put out. Go ahead and share this with your loved ones so that they could also get it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Have a nice day. Be the best you. Class is Stoutt.